I request directly to the another speaker, Dr. J.R. Association sir, to the presentation on this topic.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. Please carry on.
Shall I get my slides, sir?
Yes, sir. Yeah. 1 second.
Good evening, the leaders, Mr. Malalingam, Professor Ramakrishnan, sir, and Mr. Rathanan, sir, for providing the opportunity. And I welcome you all, the leaders who are all here, because we are all leaders here. We are leading some organizations. At least we are leading our home. Otherwise, we are leading ourselves. So we are leaders. So we have to walk. We have to go. So as Thirukural rightly explained, because since I am the person from Tamil Nadu, Tamil is my mother tongue. Karviyum kalavum seyyum seyyum arivinayum maandad amichu. The role of governance is to empower the instruments, the time, the operational strategy, and the type of action. The role of governance, there is role of governance in the sense it's a leadership. Leadership is empower the instruments, the time, the operational strategy, and the type of action. So with all the things, we have to go. Next slide. So as Arif sir explained, how we have to respond that COVID period, and what is my thing is, I just explain you how we have to respond to recover. What the situation here is unpredictable. How we have to recover? Interior normal. What is the implication? Start by defining the destination at the end of recover. So what is the focus? Inward looking. What is that recover? To recover, we have to market facing. What is the implication? Articulate the destination as a stakeholders outcome. We have to focus on our customers. That management respond is crisis management. To recover, what we have to focus, we have to go for program management. That is, what is the implication? The recover PMO maybe need a different skill set. So then planning, what is the thing is from respond, contingency planning, we have to recover in the sense it's a scenario planning. What is the implication? Model to align functional resource to the ramp up of operations. What is the attitude? We have to reacting, and what is the recover? We have to reinventing. What is the implication? Opportunity to energize team by imagining successful future and embracing trust in the catalyst. So this is in this period what leader must understand the mindset shift from the respond to recover. The next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the transformation approaches to sustainability. What is the transformation approaches? From to, that is risk focused, to opportunity focused. Companies are sustainable through the lens of disruption and risk, focusing on how sustainability could damage the company's bottom line. So what we have to go? We have to go for opportunity focus. That is companies, that hospitals are sustainability through the lens of growth and opportunity. That second point is opaque. That is, companies do not reveal information about their sustainability. But what we need is, we have to go to the transparent. We have to, that hospitals have to adopt technology, because Doctor explained about the technology of hospitals very elaborately. So we have to adopt the technology to enable the transparency and openly discuss the sustainability. Then a third point, we have to profit driven. We have to stand. To create long-term value for all stakeholders. So the fourth one is enterprise focus. Enterprise approaches operate within a company's traditional boundaries, or where we have to go ecosystem focused. Ecosystem approaches aim to wider ecosystem. So the next one, fifth one is the consultative, and we have to go for collaborative. That model adopts a do not harm approach to the sustainability, but regenerative, that approach we have to do not do more good than harm. That is the approach for that regenerative thing. Then linear, seventh one is linear. From linear, you have to go to the circular. So linear hospitals, a linear approach take more consume waste, but circular adopt a circular model within the aim of preventing the things. The next slide. What today's topics are allotted for me is diversity. The first one is diversity. Diversity. We are having the diversity with ethnic, racial, gender, generational, experiential, cognitive. That each and everything I want to explain here. Gender partiality is in an executive show in many physician specialties, and the clinical leader continues to be a challenge. Underscoring the gap is the fact that women make 80% of medical buying decisions and are 65% of industrial workforce. This is the gender parity, that is gender parity is there. Ethnic and racial positive strides have been made, yet minority participation in key leadership positions is lower than desired. The slow progress is glaring since it is estimated that minorities represent close to 1/3 of all patients. Generational, there are now 5 generations in workforce: traditionalists, baby boomers, Generation X, the largest cohort, that is millennial, and Generation Z. Numerical diversity is clearly becoming a reality in the case, as one catalyst observes, attracting and retaining top talent of every age and empowering them to do the valuable and rewarding work with redesigned workplaces to accommodate their diverse age-related needs and interests. Then experimental. Today, healthcare organizations are complex and changing. Leaders need a broad range of skills and ability to bring different experience to issues. Building diversity of background has assumed greater prominence, including seeking talent outside the healthcare industry and forming community partnership. Cognitive, a growing cause of leaders and researchers is stressing the need to foster rich diversity of thought, often labeled cognitive diversity. Organizations what they want, teams with diverse points of view to enhance decision making and encourage the creativity and innovation demanded by increasing competitive and changing market. For all categories, the ultimate aim is more than achieving specific numbers. Rather, it is from inclusive institutions that create equity for all constituents. As a chief diversity officer, one gentleman explained that the end goal of diversity and inclusion has to be equity for individuals in the workforce, for healthcare delivery and patient outcomes and experience. The next slide. So, drivers affecting diversity. What are the drivers that affect the diversity? First one is population health management. What is population health management? Provide us with homogeneous leadership teams and physicians who do not reflect the communities they serve with, find it difficult to address those social determinants and move to the needle on racial and ethnic health disparities. So drivers, first driver is the population health management, second one is rising consumerism. One of the most powerful trends in the rising consumer orientation of patients From high deductible health plans to an array of retail care alternatives, the motivation to approach healthcare like other consumer choices is mounting. Studies shows that patients are more comfortable working with caregivers who are like themselves and will increasing favor like diverse organization who deliver culturally component care. They are much like the people who like themselves favor diverse organization who deliver culturally component care. That talent shortages, one of the driver of diversity, that healthcare faces well documented current and looming shortages of physicians, nurses, and many types of leaders. At the same time, the labor market is hyper competitive. As our Arifs are told that though we are India, we are having a lot of shortages. Even if you compare the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, all the BRICS nations, India is having very high in number in maternal mortality rate, and even we are comparing with our neighbor country Sri Lanka. Our bed population rate is very low. Bed population and doctors population rate is very low. Even we don't have any formal registry for the disease like a rare disease and all. So even we are having a lot of deficiencies. India is the number one country. India is the only one country which is offering that universal plan. That is our for the below poverty line. Government is introducing that insurance scheme. There is a government supportive scheme in the whole nation. India is the only one country giving that thing. So with all that thing, and one another thing is India is having the fourth owner. That is, if you rank the owners of the healthcare organization, India is having the fourth biggest owner, that is biggest employer. But here also we are having the, we don't have any sufficient labor, sufficient manpower. So at that time, the talent shortages will be there. That is the talent shortages also the drivers of the effective drivers of the diversity. So digital transformation, another thing. Harnessing technology effectively to deliver value-based care is imperative. That will take a workforce of tomorrow characterized by a span of generations, background, and creative perspectives. Then the next slide. This is actually the business case of the diversity according to Fred Hobby. He is the president of CEO of the Institute of Diversity in Health Management in Chicago. Comprises the following things. Diversity in the sense that is employee perspective, patient focus, inclusion, community perspective. What is that employee perspective? Employee perspective, diversity management creates an environment where every hospital or health system employee feels valued, appreciated, and who in turn talks about organization within the community with pride. Diversity management allows 100% of employees, whatever their capabilities, to achieve 100% of potential, 100% of time. This is the employee perspective. Then patient focus, diversity management creates an environment where because of all the patients feel values, they are highly satisfied and loyal. Diversity management means understanding the cultural and ethnic values with the community. Community members choose in the organization which increase market share. This is the patient focus. Then inclusions. Diversity management means sending a message to minorities that are the leaders within the organization to champion their medical needs. If a minority patient knows that COO shares his or her ethnicity, for example, then the patient assumes his or her best interest will be served. Community perspective, the next one is community perspective. Diversity management means bringing the community into the organization, specifically at the governance level, putting prominent minority leaders to the hospital or health board, forges a bond with the community, which in turn creates patient comfort with the loyalty to the organization. So this is the business case given by Fred Hobby, President and CEO of the Institute of Diversity in Health Management in Chicago. The next slide, please. IAF model of aspiration, that is aspirational future approaches. That is, what is IAF? That is Institute of Alternate Futures. Institute of Alternate Futures. They are explaining that model, that is aspirational future approach. That model. They are considered the four main important things. One is most likely or expectable path for health service and policy research diversity. That is, in that diagram, in that thing, you can see that expectable, challenging, and visionary. That expectable way you have to choose in the sense what will happen. Acceptable path for that will lead to that health service and policy research. That is HSR, research diversity will lead. Then second thing, that challenging. The third thing, challenging path that considers some of many things that could go wrong. The third one you have to take in the sense it will go for wrong. A visionary or surprisingly success path driven by internal moments towards HSR, that is health service and policy research, workforce diversity within the field. It will lead to the success and it will move to the good one. A second visionary path, this is only driven more by external forces, because if you take that challenging one, it will go for failure. Again, you have to go for the second visionary path. Next slide, please. So diversity leadership is having multiple. They are having that prolonged effort. They have to take the effort. What are the effort they have to take in the sense? Make diversity as a strategic goal. They have to take the goal. They have to take the diversity as a strategic role. That what is the thing is, employees, the medical staff, and the management must see the strategic value of the diversity, or it go nowhere. Think about diversity more as a way of doing business than the program or initiative. Second one is establish organizational sensitive. We have to create an extensive training and education program around cultural competency and diversity training, including processes. And third one is mentor minorities and provide opportunities for professional development, including leadership training. Many minorities survive, appreciates their own responsibilities to mentor and develop their skills. The fourth one is promote from within. The key for diversity leadership to cultivate candidates with leadership potential from all positions up through the ranks, allowing for risk at lower positions first, then mentoring in the larger positions. This is the thing. What that diversity leadership is put their effort. That fifth one is seek out young people graduate from high school and colleges to expose them to the healthcare as a careers. We have to expose them to the career. This is healthcare, what is going on here, and we have to expose them. Then train students in healthcare graduate program to be the healthcare leaders, not just as managers. We have to train the students as a leaders. Don't train them as a managers. And provide internship fellowship for graduate students in MBA, MHA program. That we have to do. Then find networking opportunities, network among CEOs so that they will able to brainstorm together and share ideas. Then coming to finding diverse leaders. A recurring theme in research is perceived lack of minority candidates. So we sure hospital and systems must be convinced that finding minority leader in the priority in the leadership recruitment. So these are all the things a leader should consider in the diversity leader should consider. The next slide, please. Diversity roundable. These are all fixed one. That what our government, Indian government, the hospital system, everything is the fixed one. What we have to change, where the change is needed. The change is needed from that from leader, what they have to take the changes, strong recommendation roadmap, new partners, action discoveries, honest disclosures, honest conversation, take on the role of make a difference. How can my organization use my recommendations? These are all the considerations that leader has to be taken and the remaining things are fixed. You should not change the remaining things. The government, everything you should not change. The next slide, please. That resource deployment, how we have to deploy that resource. This is the second topic given for me. The leading and managing practices. Actually, we are having that resource we have to take in the sense 5 M's: men, money, machine, material, methods. How you are going to deploy that men yourself. So how you are going to deploy, that is the thing. Leading and managing practices. Leading is can, focus, align, and inspire. Managing, you have to plan, organize, implement, monitor, and evaluation. Go for improved work climate and improved management systems. Improved capacity to respond to change. What is the result? Improved services, improved health outcomes. Improved health outcome is the output. Input is your research. The process is what in our hospital we are doing. So everything will give the result as good health outcome. The next slide, please. That critical and analytical thinking. That is the third topic given for me. The objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order and the form of a judgment. How you are going to critically analyze the thing. Evidence, assumptions, briefs, experience, knowledge. That you have to make the question. Question is the first thing where you have to make the analytical thinking. Issue, claim, problem, task, statement. Then through that you have to make the questions. Then claim, statement, start, identity, everything will be processed. Then it will go for maybe it will go for misunderstanding, it will go for reallocate your question, it will go for lack of focus, just pondering to know the answers with the questions. This, as a leader, you may face all the things. So what you have to do, again you have to shape your question. Then you have to go again. And disposition, open-minded, search for the truth, inquiring, fair and balanced view of own and others' work. These are all the things you have to do, and you have to get the output. Then input, output of the healthcare critical thinking. The next slide, please. This is the input, output of your healthcare thinking. That is clinical knowledge. What we are having the clinical knowledge, management knowledge and skills, or is the experience. This will lead to your critical thinking, that is reflective thinking, context and situation. What is going on in particular, because every day, every time we can handle different type of cases in hospital. So that that context and the situation, it will change every time. So intentional outcome goal. So based upon your clinical knowledge, management knowledge and skills, experience, you have to go for the critical thinking. And critical thinking go for the consequences of empirical refinement. That is achievement of goals, satisfaction of the role, advancement of the practice, patient satisfaction, staff satisfaction, quality of care or budget, and your manager retention and manager recruitment, advancement, evidence-based practice. The next slide, please. Critical thinking, despite of all the difference emanating from all these schools of thought, there is an agreement of some fundamental facts that of creating critical thinking, most of which recognize the various behavior and the dispositions that critical thinker must possess. Two things. One is abilities: analyzing arguments, claims, or evidence; judging or evaluating based on evidence; making inferences; using inductive or deductive reasoning; making decisions and or solving problems through reasoning. Then dispositions: open-mindedness, searcher of truth, inquisition, fair and balanced view of one's work of others. The next slide, please. Bloom's taxonomy. That is for critical thinking. For writing, we are using this Bloom's taxonomy. Here, the knowledge is the bottom thing. The knowledge, what we have to do, exhibit memory of previous learned material by recalling information, fundamental facts and terms, as well as discovery through observing and locating. What are the key points we have to put here? Who, what, find, define, recall. What is there? Our knowledge is going to search. Then comprehension, demonstrate understanding of facts and ideas by organizing, comparing, translating interpreting, giving descriptions, and stating main ideas. This is comprehension. The next thing that is compare, contrast, explain, discuss. These are all the key points what we have to focus on this stage. The third stage is application. Solve problems in new situation by applying acute knowledge, facts, techniques, and rules in different or in a new way. Uh, Key points what we have to note here is plan, build, experiment, design, solve, interview. These are the key points we have to note in this stage. Then the next thing is analysis. Examine and break information into parts by identifying motivates or causes, make inferences, and find evidence to support generalizations. What is the key word here we have to note? Examine, infer, compare, contrast. Compare, contrast, infer, examine. Synthesis, that is the next step. Compile information together in a different way by combining elements in a new pattern of proposing alternate solutions. What are the key words we have to focus here? Compose, construct, create, design, develop, formulate. What is the next one? The final one is evaluation. This is also denoted as critical evaluation. That is denoted as critical evaluation, often used to emphasize the depth of evaluation required. What you have to do, you will be required to present and define opinions by making judgments about information, the validity of ideas, or quality of work based on set of criteria. So here you have to compare, justify, prove, disprove, or deduct. These are all the things what you have to do in the Bloom's taxonomy. This is very important for writing everything in the sense the critical analysis. Bloom's taxonomy is very important. The next one, next slide. The next topic is collaboration. What is collaboration here? There are a lot of definitions for collaborations. In a leadership point of view, collaborations involves multiple people interacting to achieve a common goal, consists of social inputs and task inputs. It's an active and ongoing partnership between professionals and institutions with diverse backgrounds and mandates who work together to provide services. It's a process that involves cooperation, communication, negotiation, trust, respect, and understanding to build a synergistic alliance that maximize the contributions of each participant. Then involves constructing both a collective action to address complex patient needs and an interprofessional team relations involving respect and trust. The other way is a process of working together, negotiating agreement, and managing conflict, and both valuing and understanding one another. That another way involves work together, share planning over time, function cooperatively, and colleagues and equal with respect and view to find solutions together. The next way what we have to take is a dynamic transformation process of creating a power sharing partnership for purposeful attention to needs and problems to achieve likely successful outcomes, and it's an efficient, effective, satisfying way to offer health services through the process by which interdependent professionals are structuring a collective actions towards patients' care needs. This is something brief about that collaboration. That the next slide, please. So, what is the teamwork and collaboration? This is the difference here. A collaborative team not only has to work well together, but it is also has adopt a shared set of beliefs and values among team members. Every member needs to think and feel the same. This is also there is no fixed leader, which means everyone has to equal importance success of a project or that aim, that is their objective. Everybody is the responsible person. Collaborators must respect each other and maintain trust in their teammates in the absence of a leader. And collaborators, they must flexible since plans change all time due to team members having the freedom to suggest ideas. Collaborators are require high independence as there is no defined work on task board, unlike teams with leaders. So what is the main thing is members work towards a common goal. Here, collaboration, members work towards a there also members work towards a common goal. Their actions are independent and committed to the goal. This is demand sharing. This is the difference in collaboration. Key element is control here, and key element is trust here in collaboration. The next slide, please. What is the importance? What is the importance over there? Why the collaboration is important in any organization? What is important in the sense that is improved problem solving? That collaboration improved problem solving. How business come across of problems every day. Customers may ask of something you have never done before. This will collaboration. Here the collaboration will help. Studies have proven time and time again the collaborative problem solving is effective in overcoming organization barriers in companies in all sizes. Employees who mesh well with each other can bounce ideas between themselves to solve business problems. By combining the knowledge and experience of team members, you are likely to come up with a craftly solutions to get tasks back on the track. Then better team communication, what is the thing? The second thing is for business, what is the importance? Better team communication. Good communication is essential for success of any business because all of us know communication is important for everything. It does not take an expert to figure out why communication is important. Better problem solving, more productive work, and fewer fallouts are just some of the benefits you get from strong employee communications. Then third one is greater employee engagement. Happy employees will perform better at work. Not only is this great for your business, but it also promotes a jovial work culture that extends across the entire organization. Highly engaged hospitals or companies earn 21% more than the average company, will while also enjoying higher retention and lower turnout rates. Then fourth one is that more efficient work. There are many working styles to experiment within the business world for more projects. However, collaborative teamwork is best choice in terms of efficiency. Collaborative teams can also come up with the innovative ideas as creativity is correlated to collaboration. Since everyone has strength, team members can chime with suggestions that build up to one creative solution. This prevents the predicted project plates often seen in the teams. The next, this is the benefit gained by the with the employment, that is 2.5 times greater revenue growth, 2 times annual net income, 62 times less accidents, 50 percentage fewer absence days, that is absenteeism is minimized, and 40% reduced employee turnover, 24% higher net promoter score, 80% higher productivity, 12% higher customer advocacy. This is the benefit what we are getting. For the next slide, for employees, because of the collaboration, what are the things we have to, what are the advantages we are getting? That better colleague relationship. Unsurprisingly, team with harmonious relationship having better perform better at work. That is a study conducted by Virgin discovered that 70% of the employees say that they are having friends in the office in the most important contributor to their work satisfaction. Knowledge sharing, that is the next one. Having teams with different skill sets and expertise can do wonders for your employees' growth. That is, team members can pick up knowledge from their colleagues. So that is knowledge sharing. Also, we can get from that from the collaboration. Happier workers. As a relationship between your team members grows stronger, employee morale increases. That is because of that we have to get the stronger workers. So these are all the advantages of that collaboration. The next slide, please. Four critical elements of this collaboration. There's four critical elements that are coordination, that is working to achieve shared goals. That is a very critical one, but we have to do. Advantages we can get easily, but the critical part, that operations part, we have to do first. Then only we have to get the advantages. Then second one is cooperation, contributing to the team, understanding and valuing the contributors of other team members. That is very important. We have to understand them first. Third one is shared decision making, relying on negotiation, communication, openness, trust, and respectful power balance. Fourth one is partnership, open, respectful relationship, cultivated over time in which all members work equitably together. That is very important. These four are the critical factors in any collaboration. Then next slide. That learning and collaboration. That learning, conceptual relationship between the learning and collaboration, learning behavior and the collaborative behavior. Learning behavior, initiating, interpreting, integrating, institution. That is knowledge and sharing behavior you will get. And in collaborative behavior, coordination, shared decision making, cooperation, partnership. Here also shared behavior and skill judgments you will get. From learning to collaborative, we have to go for knowledge to skills. So all this learning behavior and collaborative behavior will be driven by determinants of the learning, determinants of sharing, determinants of collaboration. These are all the things what we have to make. If you are having the determinants to learn, you can go for learning behavior. Determinants of collaboration, you can go for collaboration. If sharing, you can go for sharing. On the next slide. This is the multifunctional team. Multifunctional team in the sense, serial workflow, that is functional unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. From unit 1 to unit 2, unit 2 through unit 3, that work output will come. The next slide, please. This is the interdisciplinary team, that is functional work. This is the collaborative workflow. This is the collaborative workflow from functional 1, individual, functional 2, individual, functional 3. All the people are in the same area, work input and work output. So we can get some synergetic effects. So the next slide, please. What is the potential benefit we can get from that collaborative practices? Quality of care. Quality of care, cause and effect relationship between the collaborative team behavior and particular outcomes. Sharing of information. Qualitative collaborative teams are reported to demonstrate improved sharing of evidence-based practices. The consensus among healthcare experts from a variety of professions and perspectives. These are all the quality of care benefits we can get for collaborative practice. Then patient safety benefits. Fostering collaborative teams may also benefit staff and the organizations that work in. Staff selection and retention is higher in health organizations where staff members engage in collaborative culture of quality and safety. Other benefits of staff including greater perception of empowerment and recognition. Higher collaborative, higher performance teams may also drive value and process improvement, innovation, initiative and performance, increase work engagement and reduce staff absenteeism. The next one, that is, go to the next slide. That is a determinants of collaborative. Determinants, that first one is structural in the sense opportunity, structural determinants. The physical and organization environment in which an interdisciplinary team operates can impact the degree and nature of collaborative interactions. Environment can be taken to include physical spaces, temporal arrangements, schedules, processes, organized activities, and communication tools that may either encourage or discourage effective team collaboration. Organization structure can include the architectural consideration, that is physical structure, functionality, and aesthetics, and managerial considerations define relationship between team members and between teams, and as both formal and informal parts. Then next one is that the educational determinants, that is ability. Collaborative practice may also be promoted through education and skills training. Interviews with nurses and allied health professionals reveal that the development of two competencies with important to collaboration. The first competency involves understanding role boundaries and expectations with the team and how balance the need of professional identify the identity. An approach that de-emphasizes individual professionals need to role in favor of team goals and collaboration may actually promote a good patient care model of care. The first one is understanding the role boundaries and expectations, and next one is the need of the personal identity and the team identity. That is the next one. Then the next slide, please. How to increase the collaboration among employees? How to increase the collaboration among employees? Establish a shared vision, communicate expectations, and set clear boundaries as a leader. What you have to make, and reward collaborative efforts. Encourage risk taking. Maybe all the things are self-explanatory, so there is no need of much explanation here, I hope. Don't focus solely on work. You should not focus solely on work. Uh, Socializing outside hours, outside work hours, that is also needed here. Recognize your employees' strength. No two people are alike, so you have to recognize your employees' strength. Lead by example. Initiate and demonstrate cooperative behavior. That is lead by example. Invest in collaboration tools. Collaboration is the biggest obstacle to remote work, and establishing teamwork in today's digital age can be challenging, especially for remote employees who may not have meet their colleagues daily. 70% of employees place collaboration as the biggest obstacle to remote work, according to the in-depth survey by Buffer. That is the thing. And the next slide, please. What makes up good collaboration? What makes up a good collaboration? I can communicate with my colleague easily. If you are ready to communicate with your colleague easily, responsibilities are clear, who is doing what. I can communicate in the sense responsibility will clear. Then I can trust colleagues to do good work. I can trust my colleagues what they are doing. Every time I won't interfere in their work. Everyone agrees on the goal or outcome. We should focus on our objective. I get along well with my colleagues on the personal level. I am personally I know about my colleagues, so I get along with them. So that is very important here. The next slide, please. Lessons from leaders on expansion or architects. That is a final topic is given for me. That is one, consider an engagement before marriage. You have to consider an engagement. You have to take a marriage. There is often a misunderstanding regarding possibilities of hospital and healthcare system pre-merger. For instance, some hospitals agree to let the acquiring facility manage to a handful of service of couple of years. They can eliminate any cultural setbacks that may be ahead while allowing both entities to see if an extended relationship is their best interest. Encourages management or other affiliation models before jumping the gun on the sale or merger. Successful models are the boards discuss and say, we would like to merge, we think it will happen, but let's get engaged before we get married. This is so that we have to consider engagement before marriage. It makes sense to integrate some things immediately. If hospital have made a decision to merge or affiliate, some components of each hospital can be integrated immediately or pre-merger. Third one is many integration issues are not operational but cultural. Mergers often begin with a keen focus on the strategic reasons behind it, which can then fall to the back burner as operational tasks grow in number and importance. So strategic thinking has to continue post-merger. Benefit to each side should be balanced and recognized throughout the transaction. That hospital mergers or acquisitions are the delicate relationship, so solidity it prevent, disturb, or apprehension. Both parties should be reminded of balance of benefits as they move through the transaction. So fifth one is hospitals communication team is often to put to the test. Consolidations or transactions can spur strong community reactions and thus public relationship concerns for the hospital. An excellent communication staff, however, can prevent roadblocks by recognizing community leadership and ensuring their involvement. So sixth one is cultural shift won't occur overnight, but subtle changes help staff transaction. We have to the cultural shift should not make immediately. So what we have to do, various approaches to take when it comes to cultural changes. So it is not happen immediately. The seventh one is be wary of word synergy. What is synergy first? 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. That is synergy. 1 plus 1, either it should be greater than 2 or less than 2. One employee with another employee, their work output may be less than two employee or greater than 2 employee. That is the synergetic effect. So be wary of the word synergy. Mergers can oversell their synergetic benefits such as lower cost, expenses saving, or operating leverages. Then 8, there has been a focus shift to quality measures rather than the financial advantages. Focus has recently shifted from financial advantages to quality area. So hospitals boards are increasingly looking at the quality results and turning to the larger systems. Then a successful merger experience can be selling point for the future hospital relationship. When choosing a partnership or acquirer, hospitals will want to know what expertise candidates have in the hospital transactions. Few hospitals have left the system since they joined. Then final one is physician relationships are determining factor. Hospital physician relationship has been discussed as a criteria or influential factors when hospitals go to the market. That is very important when we are going for a merger. So these are all the 10 points we have to consider for the expansion and the mergers. The next one. Next slide. So uncovering opportunities. This is the final one what I have to explain to you. With all these things, what are all the uncovering opportunities the leaders is having to grow? One is turn up the heat. When leaders are confronted with unfamiliar challenges, complex issues, competing stakeholders' demand, or high-risk situations, they can often feel under fire. Heat experience simulate the scenario to help leaders build the skills to handle hot situations. The aim is to expose leaders to scenario that disturbs their habitual way of thinking and then ask them to solve it with the help of people who have different outlooks, ideas, and backgrounds. So next one is be clear on narrative. Each mining organization should be clear on diversity narrative. That is, each organization has to be should be clear on diversity narrative. We have to clear on narrative. That is, organization specific to their purpose and the people. Why we are there? Why what they have to do? That is very specific. Then third one is involve people. The people who do the work are often best placed to identify the skills they require to succeed. Find ways to involve leaders in the design and implementation of leadership programs. Then explain the difference between the diversity and inclusions before exploring the diversity in the workforce. It is important to understand the relationship between the diversity and inclusion. Diversity will generally not drive any real change without inclusivity. Hiring people from the diverse background simply a target achieves nothing. The value of workplace diversity lies in people bringing diversity in experience and thought to workplace or project. But diverse thoughts and ideas will never get here that alone used to benefit businesses. If people are included and their opinions are valued, to empower leaders to foster true inclusivity, educate them about different religion, different cultural practices, facing people of various ages, gender, sexual orientations, physical and mental disabilities, even challenges are facing new parents. That is, this is the uncover opportunities what leader is having. The next one. Next slide. A recovery playback because we are in the COVID thing. What is the recovery we have to make in that scenario? One is outcome recovery. What is that? Recovery in the sense recapture revenue and expand into new organic opportunities for top line growth, customer experience, and profit margin. What is the core strategy? Should we engage customers acquisition or maintenance? This is the core strategy. increase margins and profitability, adjust cost structures and investments. We have to go for should we manage for profit or resilience. The third one is optimize assets, liabilities, and liquidity. What is the description? Curative the assets portfolio, including the transactions, strengthen the balance sheet, and align the capital structure. Should we operate for cash or profit? That is the question we have to make. That accelerate digital transformation, accelerate digital capacities to enable growth, decrease cost, and progress further as a insights-driven organization. How can we move faster towards digital transformation? That is the core strategy we have to put. Support the workforce and operating structure. That's the next one. Outcome. Align the work and the workforce and the workplace. As well, operating models, business models, and alliances to deliver the required plan. Then what is the strategic big question? How has the social contract with workers changed? The next one is, do we have right operating structures and alliances in place or deliver the plan? Then the final one is that manage stakeholder expectation, manage and fulfill stakeholders' expectations while proactively addressing risk. Then what is the core strategy? How have social and institutional expectations changed? So what we have to do, these are all the important things what we have to do for the leaders uncovering opportunities in future. You have to give the solution for that. What is the next slide? Next slide, please. Present is pleasant. Here, what as a leader here, what you are saying is relevant to the people who are talking to. And now what you are saying is related to your current experience. There and then, as a leader, you are going to say there in the sense, what you are saying is relevant to the people you are not talking to. That is not relevant to the people you are not talking to. Then, in some other place, then some other days you are talking that what you are saying has little to do with your current experience. At that current experience, what you are saying is not pleasant at that time. So then next slide, please. With that, I can conclude my presentation. Thank you for your patient hearing. One individual may die, but that idea will, after his death, incarnate itself in 1,000 lives. So this is my interesting words. The words I like. With this, I can conclude. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Professor J. Rajsekhar and Dr. Arif, sir, for a very sound, comprehensive, and critical analysis of the leadership excellence, as also the kind of challenges that are facing not only healthcare, but all the industry today during the pandemic. That was an excellent exposition on all aspects involved. I thank both our dignified speakers for exposing us to this kind of wonderful presentations. Now, if there are questions, we'll take about 5 minutes. Please register your questions. As stated earlier, please type it out, and the experts will try to clarify your doubts, if any.
I think there is no any question from the delegates.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah. Once again, thank you very much for the two important and eminent speakers for the day, Dr. J.R.S. sir and Dr. Arif sir, for their excellent presentation on the given topic. Sir, I am very happy and thank you very much for the present is pleasant at the end of the presentation. And thank you very much. And I thank Dr. Arif sir for your leadership success formula, IQ, EQ, and CQ. And healthcare data analytics is very important for now. So it is one of the emerging subject in nowadays, including that artificial intelligence in healthcare and digital and other things like that. And 4 E's also very, very important for healthcare. And taking both speakers highlighted about taking this a critical time as an opportunity. Okay, instead of taking as a like any disadvantage, for taking this especially the current corona crisis time, we will convert this is an excellent model. We take this as an opportunity to go for new normal way and make the healthcare a professional, new thinking, new prospectus, and whatnot. So, on behalf of our academy and our senior management teams, and on behalf of all other delegates, we wish to thank our two speakers, Dr. Jaya Rajashekharan sir once again, and Dr. Arif sir. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. If any question comes, we will send in the form by email, and we will have a clarification and send it back to the delegates. Mr. Rathinan sir would like to say anything? Please go ahead.
I just want to thank both the speakers for delivering excellence. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We will conclude the session now with both the speaker permission. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Arif and Professor Jaya Rajashekharan.
Thank you.
You have provided us an
Thank you.
excellent
Thank you.
evening,
Thank you. Thank you very
full
much,
of knowledge,
Mahan.
wisdom. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Arif. And if you're able to combine both the presentations,
Thank you. Thank you.
and if you can put it to practice, that will make for excellence in leadership in healthcare.
Sure,
Thank you so
sure.
much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.